Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Central Europe. I hope everybody is having a great week. And in this lesson, we are looking at the listening section of the IELTS exam. We will do some practice listening with answers and strategies so you can get some more correct answers. And there's our Cyber Monday discount popping up. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. This lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Check us out there, and you can use the code CYBERDAY, this is the discount code, to get 40% off. Okay, that's 40%. It's the best savings of the year for us for this Cyber Monday if you missed Black Friday, and that's valid also on our website, IELTShelp.com, for the general IELTS version of the exam. We will be using one of our websites today for the listening material. Hi Kavita, hi Munish, hi Kiran, welcome members Nikhil, Carolina, Rashika, Joseph. Good to see all of you in the class. It's fantastic. So again, students, this is our academic website here with the blue background. You can click that big red button to join the premium package. And again, use Cyber Day to get that 40% discount. Same thing for the general version. It's the green background. Click that big red button there. Use the code Cyber Day and save 40% for a lifetime access. Mohammed Azat, I am doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing great also. It's very nice of you to ask. I like it when students interact with me. It makes me feel like you're here with me in the studio. If you have a question, anyone, you can always send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. I will gladly answer your questions. You can get our exam books from Amazon in electronic or hard copy versions. Search for AE Helps Academic IELTS or GE Helps General IELTS. So again, listening parts 1 and 2 coming up right now. We'll do listening parts 3 and 4 tomorrow, and we got classes all the way until Saturday. Now, I'm going to play the audio for listening part 1 here. Just a couple of important points before I play the audio, everyone. So, number 1, please write your answers in a separate document, not in the chat, so everyone can answer on their own. Okay, so we will go through the answers together at the end of the listening. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Also, number 2, and this is an important strategy, so I'm going to give this to you before we start listening. So number 2, while the instructions, roughly about 90 seconds, okay, so about 90 seconds, are being played in the IELTS exam, look at the first couple questions of each part. So we're talking about part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4, and get an idea of the topic for each part of the listening section. Okay, so this is a strategy. We're going to practice that in just a moment. So I'm going to play the part 1 audio from our website here. This is our 5th exam. It's exactly like the real IELTS that you will take. Okay, listening is the same for the general and the academic. Again, this is test 5 for us. So for those of you who do have our premium package, you have access to this. It's in your My Student account, of course, as all of your other materials are there. And then you need to go to your audio CDs. lots of audio CDs. And because it's exam 5, it's going to be CD 5 track 1. Now, I have max volume, so the volume is completely turned up on my end, okay? So if you find that it's a bit quiet for you, then just turn up your volume or use a headset. I'm using a good speaker and a headset, but of course turn it up, okay? All right, everyone. So again, listen, answer in a separate document. I will go over the answers at the end, and then we will talk strategy together, okay? Blackpink, you don't take notes during your listening. You answer as you listen, okay? All right. Here we go, everyone, with some listening practice. Okay.
This recording is copyrighted by 2 Think One Solutions Inc. and World ESL Tutors. You will hear several different recordings, and you will answer questions on what you hear. There will be time given to read the instructions and questions, and you will be given a chance to check your work. The recordings will be played only once. The test is made up of 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to section 1. Listening section 1. You will hear a conversation between 2 people as one tries to return a defective product. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You will see that there is an example. This time only, the conversation relating to this question will be played.
Good afternoon. I bought a product from your store 1 week ago, and I've been having difficulties getting it to work properly.
Of course, sir. Do you have the original receipt from the purchase? The first piece of information I need is the date you purchased the product.
Yes, I actually have it right here. I purchased it 8 days ago, on the 6th of July.
The 6th of July. Great.
The man says he purchased the item on July 6th, so this answer has been indicated for you. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Good afternoon. I bought a product from your store 1 week ago, and I've been having difficulties getting it to work properly.
Of course, sir. Do you have the original receipt from the purchase? The first piece of information I need is the date you purchased the product.
Yes, I actually have it right here. I purchased it 8 days ago, on the 6th of July.
The 6th of July. Great. I also need the name of the product as indicated on the receipt.
Certainly. The receipt shows it as SOJO 232XD.
SOJO 232XD?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, yes. I see the product in my records now. It is a 23-inch computer monitor?
Yes, that's correct.
Now tell me, did you buy the extended warranty on the monitor?
No, I did not. I always feel like those warranties are a bit of a scam.
Perhaps, until you need the warranty?
Perhaps. But there must be some sort of manufacturer's warranty, right?
There may be. Let me check for you. Okay. Yes, it seems there is a manufacturer's warranty. The warranty is for 60 days. 2 months.
Great. Then I shouldn't encounter any problems in returning it.
Well, actually, we only accept returns for a week after purchase. Since you purchased the computer monitor 8 days ago, you'll have to deal directly with the manufacturer.
How annoying. What steps must I take then?
Well, the company that makes the monitor has a depot in Birmingham. You must post it to them.
Okay. Do you have their address?
Yes, it's on Edgbaston Park Road and...
Hold on. You'll have to spell Edgbaston for me. I've never heard of it.
Of course. It is spelled EDGBASTON.
And then the rest of the address?
The address number is 89 and the unit number is 5.
Okay, so 89 Edgbaston Park Road, Unit 5.
That's right. And the postcode is B152RU.
B152RU.
That's right.
You now have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 6 to 10.
Great, but one concern I have is the cost of posting something as large as a computer monitor.
Indeed. Such a product must weigh a few kilos and will certainly set you back some money to post. Let me see if the company takes such a problem into consideration.
Well, that would certainly be nice if they did.
Yes, it seems they do. They have a program in place where they pay postage for the exchange of goods under manufacturer warranty or product recall.
That's great news. What do I have to do to use this service?
It's fairly simple. You just call their Birmingham depot and request a prepaid postage voucher. Then you take the item to the post office along with the voucher, and the post office will take care of the rest.
Sounds simple enough. Do you have a phone number for the depot in Birmingham?
Yes, you can reach them on 0121 496 0633. Oh, and be sure to call during business hours. They're open from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening.
10 until 6, understood. One final question. What would I have had to do to return the monitor if I had purchased the extended warranty from your store?
Well, the process would have been much simpler, sir. You could have simply brought it into the return desk at your local store. We would have given you your choice of a new monitor, your cash back, or store credit in the amount of 110% of the original cost of the item.
110% store credit? Wow, that seems too good to be true.
Well, company policy is that we want satisfied customers, and when they are not satisfied, we feel the need to compensate them for this in some small measure.
Perhaps next time I'll buy the extended warranty. How much would it have cost on the monitor I bought?
Only £20.
£20 would have been well worth it to save me the trouble of dealing directly with the manufacturer.
Well, now you know, sir.
Indeed I do. Thanks again.
That is the end of section 1. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
Okay, and definitely check some answers, students, in that half minute. It's very important. Make sure you didn't miss any questions. Make some easy mistakes in the spelling or simple mistakes in the spelling. But now we'll go through these together and we'll talk a little bit of strategy as well. So before we start with our answers, I told you before we started that one of the strategies you should use, and it's very powerful, you can easily save half a band score, is in the 90-second instruction. So they have this instruction time in the IELTS for the listening. This is a Cambridge ESOL exam, listening section. Please follow the instructions, okay? So you will have this, and in that time, you need to look at parts 2, 3, and 4, just the first couple questions to make sure that that you are familiar with the topics before you get there, okay? So what was the topic for part 2? Let's see how many of you, let's see how many of you got this, okay? So part 2, what was the topic? So Nick Hill says it was some kind of radio show. Mohammed Azat says radio show. It's strange that many of you are saying the screen is not clear, because on my feedback screen it looks perfectly clear. Is that for everybody that the screen doesn't seem clear, or is it just for some people? On my feedback monitor, the screen looks completely fine. That's why I'm asking. I think for some people, your internet connection is making it not clear. Okay. All right. Yeah. So notice how many students are saying it's absolutely clear. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Yeah. So it was a radio show. Does anybody remember what the topic of the radio show was? So I read the first couple questions. Thank you. I can see that. Yeah, that the screen is clear for me as well. I have another monitor that's showing me the screen, everyone. So, okay. So anybody remember what the radio show was about? Nick Hill, very good. So Nick Hill said it was something about charity. And volunteering. Okay, good. What was part 3? About? Okay, so yeah, the screen is clear for everyone. I think it's just for some people the internet. Okay. Okay, good. How about part 3? What was part 3 about? Anybody catch that one? Mohammed Azat says it was something about trade between nations. Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. It was trade between nations. And how about part 4? The topic there was very clear. What was part 4 about? Okay, so the reason you're doing this is so that your brain is primed, it's prepared, it's thinking about this. Jacobo Cara, or Jacopo Cara, Michelangelo, that's right. Mohammed, very good. Michelangelo, and a few others got that. Michelangelo, very good. So it's definitely a very powerful strategy to get just a quick idea of what each part is about right at the very beginning of this 40 minutes. Is that clear for everyone? So everybody's got that strategy, okay? And you can only do that in part 1. Now, there is no example anymore in part 1, so careful, that time is not there, okay? Black, pink, blink says, yep, got it. Joseph says, got it. Okay, good. All right. Okay. Good. So, fantastic. Now, your brain is thinking about those topics. That's great. Again, no example since 2020. There's no example in part 1 anymore. So they just go right into the questions. Okay. Let's go through these together. Multiple choice. You should always listen for the answer. What product did this man purchase? He's trying to return a product. What is this product that he's trying to return? Hi, Natalie. Welcome to the class. Is it a computer? Is it a computer monitor? Or is it a television? All right, I'm getting a lot of B's. That's great. Yeah, part 1 starts fairly simple. Pay attention. This was the correct answer. So you put B into your answer sheet and you're off to the races. Now, the next question was kind of a multiple choice. Okay. For this kind of question, take notes. Even in the computer-based exam, you have paper and pencil to take notes. So for multiple choice questions, there's 2 strategies. Number 1, take notes. And number 2, there's more strategies, but the 2 important ones are take notes. And number 2 is use logic. Okay? Logic is your friend, as I've said, and many of you know. Logic is your friend. So here you have questions 2 and questions 3. The order doesn't matter, but you have to get them correct. What 2 pieces of information are required to access the record of purchase? So if I paraphrase this, basically, what does the store need to look up the purchase? Okay, so what does it need? All right, so we have a lot of A's and E's. So the store needs the SOJO 232XD and the purchase date. So many of you are saying this. Okay. E is correct. A is wrong. Use logic. What if I call the store about a different product? Then what does the store need? Charlie Sen says the serial number. No, there wasn't a mention of the serial number. So what if it's not the SOJO? What if it's a completely different product? What if it's the Z375? There we go. Fennel says, well, logically, it's not the exact name that they need. It's the name of the product that they need. Okay? So when you review your questions, then make sure you pay attention to logic. Okay? So E and F. The store needs the date of purchase and the name of product. Okay, does that make sense? Right, so not the specific product name, but just the name of the product. This is just happens to be the one this man purchased. Okay, so name of product and the date of purchase, and then they can look it up, right? Because it's likely that they didn't sell more than a few, and they can figure out who bought when. Okay. All right, so logic and take notes. Okay. And we know that it's the name of the product because the woman says, remember what the woman says? The woman says, can you give me the name of the product? I mean, what product you purchased? Yeah, so Joseph, it's F instead of A. The woman says what she needs, not the man. The man just gives the name of the product. The woman says, I need the date of purchase and the name of the product that you purchased. Okay? So that's the woman. She's the one working for the store. It's not the man. Again, use logic, everyone. Okay? All right. So, here we go. So the man has this broken computer monitor. He wants to send it back to the place he got it from, the manufacturer, so the place that made this product or shipped this product. So he has to take it to the post office in Birmingham. Okay, and what's the address? Jassam Preet says 89 Edge Bastion. Nick Hill says 89 Edge Bastion. Yeah, so it's 89 Edge Bastion. Okay. The E has to be a capital letter. If it's a small e, it's wrong. Okay. Small e will be marked wrong. A big E will be marked right. You can write all capital letters, so you can do this. Okay. So you can do this, and it's correct. Okay. If you write it like this, this is wrong, okay, because it's the name of a place. And proper nouns matter in the IELTS, okay? So careful with that. Now, I don't recommend answering like this in the answer sheet on the paper-based exam because for two reasons. A, it's slow, okay? And B, it's easier to make spelling mistakes. Okay, so it's easy to misspell. So if you're writing all capital letters, be careful. It's slower to write all capital letters, and it's easier to make spelling mistakes. So if you want to be sure and you're freaking out that you're going to make mistakes with capitals, do this during the 10 minutes to transfer answers to the answer sheet. Then make it all capital. Just be really careful with your spelling, okay? But I do recommend that students learn to use correct capitals and small letters with proper nouns, okay? All right, postcode. Mazir says it was B152RU. I believe that's correct. So B152RU, B152RU. Make sure that you have clear numbers and letters if they cannot read your letters. So if your B looks like an 8, B15, and your 2 looks like a Z or U, then this will be marked wrong, okay? Make sure that your B clearly looks like a B, okay? And your 2 clearly looks like a 2, okay? It's really important. So legible writing. The rule for the examiners is if they can't read what you write, if it's not clear, it's wrong. Okay? All right, here we go, students. So question number 6, write no more than 3 words for each answer. In order to get free delivery on product returns, the customer must telephone the depot and request a prepaid what? Natasha says posted voucher. Shaylee says voucher. Poonam says posted voucher. And Nikhil says, everyone careful, it's a postage voucher. Now, it's just a common word here. Postage, word form is important here. Voucher. Okay, no more than 3 words. Here you need both of these words, okay, to get this correct, because there are lots of different kinds of vouchers. So there are many different types of vouchers that you can get. So it has to be a postage voucher, okay? What is the phone number for the depot? So let me see if chat will allow you to put these numbers in here. So Fennel says it's 0121496063. Okay. There seems to be some consensus there. It's 0121496063. Okay. So that's the phone number. The spaces, not important. Okay. You can have it all as just one long number. Okay. Right. So that's the phone number. That's correct. Again, spaces, doesn't matter. Okay, a lot of students worry that, hey, does it matter if I put a space or a dash or something? No, don't worry about that. You're not actually going to call this post office. It doesn't really exist. So, no. Okay, again, multiple choice. Think about the answers. Listen for the answer. How many hours is the post depot open each day? I'm Canadian. I say post office. British people say post depot. Is it 6, 8, or 10? Correct answer. Yeah, B. It's 10. 10 till 6, I think, is what they said. From 10 until 6. Very good, Carolina. All right, good. So everybody caught that, from 10 until 6. Okay, good. Yeah. Now, question 9. It's just one question. So here in your question box, be very careful. On the computer-based exam, this is a little bit clearer. In the paper-based exam, you have to be more careful. So which 3 options are customers given upon returning the item? There's 6 choices here. 3 of these are what he could have got had he bought the extended warranty. Okay. A, exchange for an item for a new one. Yeah, that's always true, right? When you go to a store, you say, hey, you sold me an item that doesn't work. They'll say, oh, just get another one. We'll swap it right out. No problem. We don't want to lose the sale, right? D, cash back, right? It's broken. I don't like your store. I don't want to take another chance to buy another faulty product. So, okay, no problem. We want you to be happy. Here's your money back. So D was correct, right? Cash back. Okay. And the last one, this one was kind of tricky, but she emphasized this one is 110% store credit. The man even says, wow, 110%? That sounds too good to be true. And the woman says, no, we want you to be happy, so we'll give you that extra 10%. So A, D, and E. Okay. A and D, absolutely logical. Right? A and D, absolutely logical. And I can see that a lot of students got that, which is great. Okay, Harsh Kumar got it. Mohammed Azad got it. Carolina got it. That's good. If you miss one of them, Surinder, unfortunately, you get it wrong because it's just one question. So here, students, when you have to choose multiple and it's just one question, you get it wrong if you get even one wrong. Okay? So, but the idea is that it should be simpler. Okay? All right. Number 10, The woman mentions an item that costs 20 pounds. What is this item? So what costs 20 pounds? The computer monitor, that would probably be the cheapest monitor in the world at 20 pounds if it's working. B, the extended warranty, maybe. Or C, the manufacturer's warranty. The correct answer here is B. I don't know about you, but I've never had to pay for a manufacturer's warranty. Okay. Computer monitor for 20 pounds. What? There's no computer monitor that costs 20 pounds. So here, logic. Okay. Logic tells me that the extended means like a plus warranty. So logic will help you. The obvious answer is B. Yeah. Manufacturer's warranty for 1 year on your TV or your monitor, that's free. You don't pay for that. You might have to register on a website, but that's going to be free, right? Other than a website registration. Okay. All right, so B it was. Count up your scores, everyone. So what did you get out of 10? How did you do? This is part 1. Your goal should be, I'd like to say 9 or 10. Okay, so for part 1, your goal is 9 or 10. Okay, how did you do? What did you get out of 10? Okay, what was your score? Joseph, you got 9. That's great. Shaylee, you got 6. You just got to work on it. Okay, you'll get more. Okay, if you're at 6 or 7, it's okay. You're on the right path. If you're at 4, Krishna, then you definitely got to put in more time. All right. I don't recommend sitting the IELTS until you can get at least 7, 8 in listening part 1. Okay, it's very, very hard to get a 6.5 or higher if you cannot get at least 7 or 8 in part 1. Okay, ideally you want to get 9 or 10 correct. Okay, everyone, that's great. Now we're going to do part 2. So part 2, an older practice test is called section 2. It becomes quite a bit more difficult. So I think there's quite a big change in difficulty between section 1 and section 2. There's usually more people talking, more difficult topic. So definitely getting into some more challenging listening. But not to worry, that's why we're here today. We're here to practice. So we're going to do that right now. Again, remember everyone, just write your answers in a separate document. And that gives everybody an equal chance to answer the questions. We'll go through the answers together at the end. Okay? And if it's quiet for you or if you can't see the screen, it's probably on your end. Okay? Niranjan, this is on the website, the audio. So we're going to play the audio right now. Okay? Right now. Here we go, everyone. So back to our website. For the audio, again, you can join our website with that 40% discount for Cyber Monday. It's up here, Cyber Day. All right, so here we go. Test 5, part 2. Everybody's ready.
Battery, 50%.
Now turn to section 2. Take some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Listening section 2. You will hear a recording of a radio news magazine discussing the importance of doing good in the community. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully to the interview and answer questions 11 to 16.
Hello, I'm Emma Robertson, and I'd like to welcome our listeners to Beyond the Lens, the programme that aims to dig deeper on issues in culture and society. Today we have Professor Hudson McMahon from the University of Bristol's Department of Social Policy. Hello, Professor McMahon. Do you want to tell us a little about what you'll be presenting today?
Of course, Emma. But first, I'd like to thank you for having me on the show. My wife and I are both avid listeners of Beyond Lens, and it's a bit of a thrill to be on the show. But I digress. Today, I want to talk about the importance of doing good in the community and in society. There are many ways of doing this, but the two most common ways are volunteering and giving to charity. However, these methods of improving community and society have an important difference. While volunteering one's time is almost always a positive for society, giving to charity is significantly more problematic.
Problematic, Professor McMahon? It would seem to me that giving to charity is always a positive for society. We celebrate those among us who are the greatest donors to charity.
Yes, and in general, it is warranted. I do want to clarify. In general, giving to charity is good, but one must be very careful for two reasons. First, some charities do not do sufficient amounts of charitable good per pound. And second, some charities receive too much money that could be spent better on other causes. Let me discuss each of these in turn.
This seems to me a rather radical thesis.
It seems that way, but I hope to convince you otherwise by the end of the program. Now, getting back to charities. Some charities simply do not give a lot of their received monies to the actual performance of good acts. For instance, some charities utilize less than 10% of their donations on actual charitable activities. The rest goes to salaries, promotion, and other overhead costs. So for a donation of £100, it may be the case that less than £10 actually goes to helping someone.
That sounds terrible, but it still helps people, right?
Well, yes, but as charitable givers, we should try and reward those charities who do most good with the least amount of money. By that, I mean that those thinking of donating to charity should do research on a charity before giving to the cause. There are other charities where more than 50% of donations go to the end cause. These charities are much more deserving of your patronage.
You now have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 17 to 20.
Another reason to be discerning when it comes to your choice of charities is what I call the relative utility of a charitable donation.
Let me take a guess here, Professor McMahon. Is the relative utility of a donation how much good it does relative to other donations?
That's just about it, Emma. The relative utility of a donation is how much good a donation does per amount spent. For instance, the disease MND, motor neuron disease, was in the news in recent years, and MND charities received a windfall of donations. This sounds all well and good, but there is a problem. Unlike, say, heart disease, MND does not affect very many people. While it would be wonderful to cure the disease, there are better allocations of our limited charity funds.
Wait, so you're saying it was bad for people to give to MND charities?
Not quite, only that it was suboptimal. Because there is limited supply of money given to charity each year, it is important that it is used at least somewhat optimally. And allocating overwhelming amounts of money to a disease that affects very low percentage of people is extremely suboptimal.
That's very interesting, Professor McMahon. So how can our listeners try and optimize their charitable gifts?
First of all, don't be caught up in viral social media campaigns. Instead, use such moments to remind yourself of the importance of giving to charity in general, and not just to niche causes with good promotion. And second, do your research. Before you donate, look up how much of a charity's donation go to the actual end goal. Additionally, Look up how many people are affected by the charity's end cause. The more people there are affected, and the worse they are affected, the more likely you should be to donate to that cause. It is all about maximizing good in the world.
That certainly sounds like a noble goal, but if everyone donates...
That is the end of section 2. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
All right, everyone. And again, check your answers. Always check your answers. Don't just go to the next section, because oftentimes when students check their answers, they'll catch 1, even 2, 3 easy, simple to correct mistakes that will bring up your score. All right, so let's go through these answers together. Now, the woman has a British accent in this case, and the man has a New Zealand accent. So here we go. They say this answer twice, okay? Oftentimes when it's a name, it's something challenging, then they give it twice. So what is the name of this radio show? And I can see a little bit of insecurity. Joseph says, Beyond the Lands. Okay. Lepe says, Beyond Length. Shilly says, Beyond Lens. It was close. It was a little bit tricky. They said it twice. It was Beyond the Lens. Okay. So Beyond the Lens. You have your camera. Okay, this is the camera lens right there. Okay, so beyond the lens means that the world around us. Okay, so that is beyond the lens. Okay, so beyond the lens meaning the world around us. Okay, beyond the lens. I believe there's actually a few different shows out there with this name. Okay, and they said it twice, and it is a name, so you have to have a big B, big L. The THE can be all small because it's simply an article. Articles don't need capitalization, okay? So when it's like this, so beyond the lens, okay? All right. Now, questions 12 to 15. So this was kind of an interesting question style, where you have 3 different concepts. So volunteering, which means giving your time freely, applies to charitable giving. Charitable giving means donating money, or for example, donating food could be a charitable giving as well. Okay, it's not time, but it's some kind of object of value, usually money. And then applies to neither, so not volunteering, not charity. Now here, you had to be clear on the meaning of charity and volunteering. Okay, so number 12 affects fewer people, so not many people, and may be highly inefficient, so not useful for anyone, affects nobody. Was it A, volunteering, B, charity, or C, neither? Okay. Few people, not efficient. Correct answer is C, neither. Okay. Charities can affect a lot of people, but may be inefficient. Volunteering may affect a few people, but they're very efficient. Okay. So instead of just staring at these 4 choices, I think that's where a lot of students get lost, is they're looking at the 4 choices and they get lost in the smaller picture and they don't realize the bigger picture. Okay, so here what you really had to understand from this first part of the conversation is that volunteering is always positive. Okay, charity is not always positive, and can affect many people. Okay, So how many of you, here's an important question for these, how many of you got this much information not by looking, so forget the questions, not by looking at that, but just by listening to these two people talking? How many of you understood that volunteering is pretty much always positive and charity is not always positive and it affects a lot of people? How many of you truly, honestly got those two ideas from listening to these two people talking? Okay, Mohammed says, yeah, I got that. Yeah, Black Pink Blink says, yeah, I got it. Okay. Jai Pat says, yeah, I got it. It's general knowledge. Okay. So if you got this, then you're doing okay. If you didn't get it, you're in trouble. Okay. There's no nice way for me to say that. If you got it, you should be okay. If you didn't get this, you're in trouble. If you got this, you can answer these. Okay. So affects few people, but maybe highly inefficient. It's neither. Right? Charity affects a lot of people and is efficient. Volunteering is always positive. So it's neither. Okay? Can be problematic for various reasons. Number 13, charity can have some problems. So clearly it's B. Okay? Why? Because A is always positive. Is almost always a positive action for society. Volunteering, A. Subject to many overhead costs. Overhead, and especially the word costs, is similar to problems. So again, it's B. Okay? So C, B, A, B. How did I get this? How did I get it quickly? By basically just understanding these two key points from the conversation. Okay? So my tip here and the strategy that I'm trying to show you here, hopefully I am showing you, is that you have to focus on the main ideas and not get lost in details of questions, because when you get the main idea, you can figure out the questions. Everybody got that now? Does everybody see how I changed my thinking about the question? So don't get lost in the questions, understand the concept. That's the key for high scores in the listening. Okay? All right. Looks like many of you are like, okay, yeah, no, I got it now. Okay, and you want to practice that. So practice this strategy. So practice listening for these kinds of key concepts. Then when you read the questions, your logic will allow you to answer them correctly. Okay? If you're really just staring at the question, it might be hard. Okay? All right. Now, number 16, you had to choose two. They capitalize it. It's two. Okay? So what are two reasons charities can be inefficient? So what are two reasons that charities can be very expensive? What are those overhead costs? Right? Andre says, now it's clear. Okay. Black, pink, blink. Not exactly true. You do have note paper and a pencil during the computer-based exam, and for some questions you want to use it like those multiple choice questions, okay? Shiraz, yeah, your logic is very, very important in the listening and reading sections. Very, very important, okay? So why are charities? So when you think of charities, think of UNICEF, okay? Think of the World Wildlife Federation. Okay, think of Greenpeace. Okay, so lots of charities out there, right? Why are they inefficient? Well, they have to pay a lot of people that work for the company. I mean, they have to survive. Those people aren't all just volunteering. So A, they're expensive, right? The WHO is not really a charity. Shaylee, the WHO is more of an organization. The World Health Organization is not a charity. That's more of a company. Okay, so must pay salaries for employees, sure. And the other is the promotion. So all of those ads that you see on TV or on flyers, those are not free. Those cost money. Okay. So the correct answers here were A and C. That makes sense, right? Yeah, Mohammed, if you get one wrong, then you get the question wrong because it's just one question. So this is one question, so you have to get both of these right to get the question right. If you get this one wrong, the question is considered wrong. Okay? All right. Okay, everyone, keep that in mind. Okay? UNICEF, World Wildlife Federation, Greenpeace, those were examples that you can use to visualize. Okay? All right? Okay, everyone, here we go. This was a flowchart type question where you had to choose the correct answer from here and put the correct letter into the correct space. So here you have a charity. Charity for heart disease affects many people, and it's a good use of funds. So if you donate money to helping research for heart disease, it will help a lot of people, and it's a good investment of your money. Here, it's like having a little versus sign. Okay, so heart disease is something that affects a lot of people. So this one affects probably not a lot of people, so I would put a few in here. What disease? So let's go back to 17. Which one of these do they talk about here? Mohammed says MND was the disease, yeah. So make sure that you don't write MND, but you write the letter F. So F goes in here. And then here, affects many people for heart disease. So affects few people. We already got that. So A, so FA. These have to be in the correct places in your answer sheet. For the paper-based, for the computer-based, you just type it in directly. And then 19 is the opposite of good use. Good use of funds, it's a bad use of funds, or poor use of funds, or in this case, it's an inefficient use of funds. Okay? So the correct answers for 17, 18, 19 are F, A, and B. Again, logic is your friend in this case. Okay? All right. Next one. Last question. 20. Here we go. According to the guest, what is the main goal of charitable giving? This one was kind of an easier one. They let you off on an easy last question. The person says this loud and clear. He says, the main goal is just maximizing good. So make sure you do the maximum good. If you're going to give $100, make sure you do a bit of research and give that $100 to a place where it will help the most people. He says it's all about maximizing the good in this world. He actually uses verbatim, maximizing good. So that's C. That's the lucky when you hear the exact words. It's the lucky question or answer. Okay, and I see a lot of you got that. So a lot of you got C, which is fantastic. So maximizing good. Okay, students, again, my question here is how many did you get correct? So in part 1 and part 2 together, so part 1 plus part 2, you should get, let's say, 16 or more in order to be on track for a band 6, 5, 7. All right. What did you get out of 20? Okay. Ideally, you've got 16 so far. Mohammed, 15. That's okay. All right. In total, 14 harsh. That's definitely the bottom end. Joseph, 17. It's solid. Okay. Part 3 and 4 are going to be more challenging. That's why you don't want to get a lot of answers wrong here, because again, part 3, part 4 are more challenging, and you definitely want to make sure that you're going into part 3 and part 4 with some high marks. Now, students, again, our Cyber Monday sale is still going on, so you can get our 6 practice exams, all of our HD videos that are pre-recorded, and our interactive courses by using the code CYBERDAY. So it's CYBERDAY, CYBERDAY, to get a 40% discount at gieltshelp.com for general IELTS, aehelp.com for academic IELTS. This code is for our websites, not for our apps. Okay? We don't have this code for apps, but you can get the apps when you get the premium course on the website. I will be back tomorrow with listening parts 3 and 4 from this exam, all right? And make sure to practice these strategies. Hopefully I'll catch you all again tomorrow for 2 more classes, task 2 and listening. Thank you so much for the interaction, everyone. You're welcome. Nikhil, you're welcome. Ria, Augustine, Radhika, you're welcome. Mohammed, nice to see you in class all the time. Harsh, Kumar, good job. Okay, Amanda, we'll see you in class tomorrow. Much love to all of you. If it's late in your country, get some rest, stay strong, stay healthy, eat your vitamins, get some exercise, and much love to all of you. I'm Adrian, signing out from Central Europe. Bye for now.